What's up everyone, it's Iceman Oz, aka Jay, back again with another video for you guys. In this one, we're gonna talk about the topic, is Call of Duty too far gone? Recently, there was the reveal of the Call of Duty World War II Multiplayer trailer, and recently within the franchise, it's really dropped off in popularity, as you may see in the numbers in terms of the player counts and just the amount of people buying the game. So the question comes up, is Call of Duty going to have a resurgence? Will it go back to those glory days like back in Modern Warfare 2 and COD 4? But before we get into that topic, I just want to clarify briefly a video that I made yesterday, and basically it was about Call of Duty copying Battlefield in regards to the trailer and everything. I want to clarify that's not what I believe. I'm not like a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. I'm not going to say because Call of Duty has a similar grenade throw that they're definitely copying Battlefield, and that because they're set in the same sort of time period that they're copying. I mean, obviously you're going to have things that are similar because they are set in that World War type era. So my original point, which I didn't describe very well, and that was my fault, is that Sledgehammer have a 3-year development cycle, and it could well have been possible that they seen Battlefield release and then change some things based off what they seen. That is a possibility, although it's unlikely, and that is again a conspiracy theory. I just want to apologize about that because I don't think the video was up to the standard that I require, and I am my own harshest critic, honestly. So my original thoughts in that video was I was going completely unscripted, and I didn't want to, you know, make it too scripted, because I noticed that when that happens is the videos just get boring, and I don't want that to be the case. I want it to be, you know, just my opinion, and that's what I was trying to do. I didn't want it to be taken as like a super serious fact-based video. It really wasn't. It was just sort of me talking about my thoughts, and that I was going to buy it and, you know, try it out and see if it was worth anything and do some live commentaries. That was the basis of the entire video. Obviously the title does entice some people to think, you know, about that, but anyway, let's stop talking about that. Let's get into the actual topic of today's video, and that is COD too far gone at this point? Well, in my opinion, I don't think that Call of Duty will have a sudden resurgence because of the time frame of this current game. Now, obviously, the Call of Duty community want the boots on the ground type gunplay because that's what's familiar to them. That's what's been super popular in the past, and they want to go back to that. Now, I think if they want to earn the trust of the Call of Duty fans again, I think they should go back to making less titles, maybe making a Call of Duty every 2 years instead of one releasing every single year. The reason that this is a problem is because less and less people are buying it every year because they see too many similarities between each game, and they've seen it all before. So it's going to continue to decline if they keep releasing a new one every single year. They need to invest heavy time and heavy effort into one Call of Duty title, and I think Treyarch should be the one to do that. If you don't know, there are actually 3 studios working on Call of Duty, and they do it in a 3-year rotation cycle. We have Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, who are making the newest Call of Duty World War II, and then Treyarch. Treyarch has traditionally been the better developer, making World of War, Call of Duty Black Ops, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3. Now, honestly, I was a huge fan of Black Ops 2, but that was the last Call of Duty that I actually really enjoyed. I kind of liked Ghost because the gunplay was pretty solid, although it had some really frustrating moments, and I could see definitely elements where people didn't like the game, right? Now, there is something to keep in mind here, that the developer of this title hasn't had the best past. Sledgehammer are kind of a bit iffy, and I think the Call of Duty community and the community in terms of the FPS first-person shooter community will definitely take that into account. Treyarch has the best reputation, and I think, back to my point, that they should be doing the Call of Duty titles, and I think they should have especially handled this World War II type theme, because I think they would have done a really good job. I don't want to commit my thoughts and say, like, obviously this game's gonna be insane, this World War II Call of Duty is gonna be the best game ever. Like, I don't want to say that at all. Obviously, I don't know until I play it. I haven't played it, so I can't say like, oh yeah, here we go, this is gonna bring the franchise back, man. And honestly, I doubt that it'll bring any real huge sales back. I don't think a time frame will sell people on it, to be entirely honest. There's a reason why, you know, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Rainbow Six Siege, and all these games continue to grow in terms of player counts and sales, It's because they have real quality and that they constantly update the game over time and that you're able to really sink your teeth into it and develop as a player. The problem is, these Call of Duty games are releasing every year, so there's not really enough time for you to develop as a player, to learn the maps, to learn the guns. There's just too much coming at once, and you can't really develop your skills to become really good. An example of this was when I played competitive Battlefield 3. I was one of the top players in my country, and I had a really successful team at the time that competed in events. Well, I was a terrible player for probably the first 7 months, and it took me about 8 months to really start to develop my skills. Now, the problem is here, and the crossover I'm trying to make is, a lot of people can't develop their skills in the time cycle that these Call of Duty's games are released. And the whole idea of a video game, in my opinion, in regards to shooters especially, is it's not about upgrading your character, it's about you getting better. You're the guy who gets better, not the character, and I think that is something that a lot of shooters miss, especially with these AAA titles. Why is Counter-Strike so popular? Why is Rainbow Six so popular? Because they have significant time to develop their skills with a successful player base that's there, and that's why it continues to constantly grow. In my opinion, Call of Duty World War II is not going to have any success because of this fact. Now, certainly I could be wrong. This could be the game of the year. This could be the best thing to ever release since sliced bread, but in my opinion, I don't think that it's going to really make any real traction, especially with microtransactions that's been happening in the franchise recently. I just don't see it really going anywhere. I could obviously be wrong, but that's just my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments section below. Very curious to hear what you think about this video. More of a serious one. I really wanted to cover this more in depth because my previous video about the new Call of Duty wasn't up to my standard, so hopefully this one is a little bit better. But maybe it isn't, maybe it's just as crap as the first one. But I tried my best. But I appreciate your guys' support on Twitter. You guys definitely showed the love, and I appreciate that, man. Not every video I'm going to release is going to be a good one. Sometimes, you know, I'm only human. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to make errors, and I'm glad that most of you guys understand that. And yeah, that's really good, man. Anyway, just a quick plug to my Patreon. Be sure to follow that because, like I've been stating in many of my videos, YouTube ads have gone down the toilet. So I need your guys' support more than ever on Patreon. Just even $1. If you can afford $1 a month, if like, you know, 10 of you do that, that's crazy. Like, I don't expect anyone to really give anything, but if you want to, it's there for you to check out. But to wrap up the video, I know so many fans who used to play Call of Duty, who are really into it, who have now moved on to the said games that I have mentioned, such as Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Rainbow Six Siege, and yes, even you Battlefielders did play COD at one point. We all have been there at one point or another. Maybe not, maybe you just got into it. Like me, actually, I just went straight into Battlefield 3. I never really played much Call of Duty at all, just besides here and there. I remember playing at my cousin's house a bit of Call of Duty Black Ops, the original Black Ops, but really, that was when I got into it, was Battlefield 3, and I have so many great memories with that title, and I think a lot of people have that same thing. The first first-person shooter that you play, a lot of the times that's going to be your favorite because it's your first experience with that type of game. And you ever notice, like, sometimes with your favorite games, you notice that there's like clear apparent issues that everyone makes out to be terrible and they hate the game because of it, but you can look ahead of that because that was your first, you know. I can make some weird correlations there, but I'm not going to do that. This is a PG channel, I'll have you know. It's not really. But to wrap up the actual topic at hand, is Call of Duty too far gone? Well, it's kind of the same thing with Guitar Hero. That was a really popular game, dropped off over time, and eventually died off. Ironically, that was with Activision as well, so Activision have this really interesting ideal where they'll just spam out the same video game repeatedly, get the most out of it, and then kill off the franchise. So I think that's starting, well, not starting, I mean, it's been happening for a long time, right, with Call of Duty. So the hype is not as much every single time, it's just sort of declining slowly, and they're still profitable, right? All these Call of Duty games are still profitable, but you know, they'll never be what they were. Definitely not. I don't ever see a time where Call of Duty is going to be like as big as it was previously. And I heard there was some drama between YouTube and Call of Duty because Activision is claiming all the videos of the YouTubers, and pretty much like YouTubers promoting your game is really important to a game's life cycle. And if Activision's doing that to YouTubers, you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed. The way they're trying to approach the development of this game and the way they approach microtransactions, it just seems really shady. It just seems really shady. But you wanted my actual opinion, my in-depth opinion. There it is. I'm trying to go away from those type of videos where I'm like super in-depth, besides like game reviews that I do. I want to make it more fun, just, you know, more topical, less serious type thing. But hopefully you guys understand that. But there you go, guys. Leave your opinion in the comments section below. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, share, subscribe, and peace.